the North German Confederation was a federation of 22 independent states of northern Germany, with nearly 30 million inhabitants. It was the first modern German nation-state and the basis for the later German Empire, when several South German states such as Bavaria joined. According to modern scholars, the Confederation and the Empire are identical as a state, although technically the Empire was a new foundation. After several unsuccessful proposals from several sides to reform the German Confederation, the North German major power Prussia left the German Confederation with some allies. It came to war between those states on one hand and states such as Austria on the other. After a quick decision in the Austro-Prussian War of July 1866, Prussia and its allies founded the North German Federation. At first it was a military alliance between independent states, but the states already had the intention to form later a federation or confederation with a constitution. This was realized in 1867. The North German Confederation is historically important for the economic and judicial unification of Germany. Many of its laws were taken over by the German Empire. History. Until the Constitution of 1867, in 1815, after the final defeat of Napoleon, the German princes and free cities established the German Confederation as a loose successor of the former Holy Roman Empire. The sovereignty remained with the individual German states. There were several attempts to create a modern nation-state, most prominently in the Revolution of 1848. A major issue in the struggle was the rivalry between Austria, the traditional principal power in Germany, and the ascending Prussia. The Austro-Prussian War of 1866 demonstrated the military superiority of Prussia, led by its ingenious and energetic Minister-President Otto von Bismarck. After the war, Prussia annexed most of its adversaries' territories north of the River Main, such as the Kingdom of Hanover, and with the other North German states it signed on August 18 the North German Confederation Treaty. The alliance had 15 members then, with 80% of the inhabitants living in Prussia. Hesse-Darmstadt was part of the new confederation only with its northern part. A South German Confederation, as mentioned in the Peace of Prague, did not come into existence. From the beginning the alliance was supposed to become a nation-state with a federal constitution. On December 15, 1866, Bismarck presented a proposal to the representatives of the Allied governments. Their complaints did not seriously alter the proposal. On February 7, 1867, the common proposal of the governments was ready. It was the intention not to impose the new constitution but to stipulate it together with a representation of the people. To this end a Constituent and a North German parliament was elected on February 12. This Norddeutscher Reichstag accepted the constitution, with relatively minor changes, on April 16, 1867. It became law on July 1. Consequently, a new Reichstag was elected, the only one during the existence of the North German Confederation. Bismarck became the first and only North German Bundeskanzler, the head of the executive. 4 years of legislation, the constitution opened the Confederation for the South German states to join. But in the situation of 1866-1867, France would not have accepted such an enlargement of Prussia's power. Bismarck, shortly after the war with Austria and amid negotiations about the constitution, could not afford a military conflict with France. During the roughly 4 years of the North German Confederation its major action existed in legislation unifying northern Germany. The Reichstag decided on laws concerning free movement of the citizens within the territory of the Confederation, a common postal system, common passports, Prussian military laws replacing local military regulation, equal rights for the different denominations. The North German Confederation became a member of the Zollverein, the German customs union of 1834. After negotiations in 1867, on January 1, 1868 it was transformed to a closer organization with new institutions, a council for the governments and a parliament. Bismarck hoped that the Zollverein might become the vehicle of German unification. But in the 1868 Zollverein elections the South Germans voted mainly for anti-Prussian parties. German Empire. In mid-1870, A diplomatic crisis concerning the Spanish throne led eventually to the Franco-Prussian War. During the war, in November 1870, the North German Confederation and the South German states of Bavaria, Württemberg, and Baden united to form a new nation-state. It was originally called Deutscher Bund, but on December 10, 1870 the Reichstag of the North German Confederation adopted the name Deutsches Reich and granted the title of German Emperor to the King of Prussia as President of the Confederation. During the Siege of Paris on January 18, 1871, King Wilhelm I of Prussia was proclaimed German Emperor in the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles. The 16th April 1871 Constitution of the Empire was nearly identical to that of the North German Confederation, and the Empire adopted the North German Confederation's flag. A new Reichstag was elected on March 3, 1871. Political system. The North German Constitution of April 16, 1867 created a national parliament with universal suffrage, the Reichstag. Another important organ was the Bundesrat, the Federal Council of the representatives of the Allied governments. To adopt a law, a majority in the Reichstag and in the Bundesrat was necessary. This gave the Allied governments, meaning the states and their princes, an important veto. Executive power was vested in a president, a hereditary office of the House of Hohenzollern, the ruling family of Prussia. He was assisted by a chancellor responsible only to him, an office that Bismarck designed with himself in mind. There was no formal cabinet. The heads of the departments were not called ministers but secretaries. Those were installed and dismissed by the chancellor. For all intents and purposes, the Confederation was dominated by Prussia. It had 4/5 of the Confederation's territory and population, more than the other 21 members combined. The presidency was a hereditary office of the Prussian crown. Bismarck was also foreign minister of Prussia, a post he held for virtually his entire career. In that role he instructed the Prussian deputies to the Bundesrat. Prussia had 17 of 43 votes in the Bundesrat despite being by far the largest state, but could easily get a majority by making alliances with the smaller states. Postage stamps. One of the functions of the Confederation was to handle mail and issue postage stamps. For details, see Postage stamps and Postal history of the North German Confederation. List of member states, see also, North German Constitution, former countries in Europe after 1815, German unification, further reading, Craig, Gordon A. Germany, 1866 1945 online edition, Hoban, Heijo. A History of Modern Germany, 1840 1945 ppA 173 232, Nipperday, Thomas. Germany from Napoleon to Bismarck, very dense coverage of every aspect of German society, economy and government, Flanzy, Otto. Bismarck and the Development of Germany, Volume 1, The Period of Unification, 1815 1871, Taylor, A. J. P. Bismarck, The Man and the Statesman online edition, references.